bit sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
And welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
Whoa.
Still hard.
I'm still Heather Terry.
And this is our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit for fucked up reasons or no reasons at all. Because people are fucking shit.
They really are.
They are.
The
Let
people-
me tell you.
Let's
about
tell
some
you.
shit.
You want to hear some shit? I hope so, or it'd be awkward that they turned on a podcast.
It would be. But literally our whole genre is talking shit. So this weekend, for some people who don't know, because people don't always start our episodes knowing who the fuck we are, but I really want a homestead. So every time that Travis needs to do something, which is my husband, around the house, I'm like, I can help and support because I'm a strong woman. So this weekend.
Annie the Riveter. What's her name? Annie?
I don't know.
The lady that flexes with the bandana.
Oh, yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
This weekend, we have a pergola, which is a fucking awning for anyone who's like, what the fuck is a pergola?
It's a spice.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the beams was bowing, something I never fucking noticed, but Travis did, and it was driving him crazy. So he's like, we need to fix this. Long story short, we're fucking around with some beams high above our head. At some point, Travis hits a fucking board, and somehow this board that had 1,000 nails in it, luckily none of them pierced my fucking forehead or my flesh, it fell from 8 feet up. It was a 2x6 board and knocked me the fuck out.
Yeah, so my co-host is a little concussed.
I am.
She's a survivor. Mm-hmm. She's a survivor. Her brain is bruised.
It is. And it's been a bitch. And it's been horrible migraines all week. Yeah. And I'm just pushing through. So words are hard for me to find. And it's like an Easter egg hunt of joy.
That's
and
right.
I'm going to keep doing it. And we're going to be great.
Well, like that episode whenever you did from, I think it was Japan. And you had to read all the Japanese names. And
my God.
At the end, you were like, this guy, A, did B. It's going to be like that, but in English.
Yeah, luckily, it's your turn to do it. So we're going to be just fine.
It is my turn.
And we're also...
You guys.
In a studio.
We are in a studio.
We are fancy fucking pantsies.
I do feel kind of fancy.
I always do.
I know.
Usually. When my brain functions. I feel very fancy. But today we're in cool leather seats that swivel at Wonder Boy Media, and I feel so cool.
Yes, we are very excited. And I can't stop moving either because, I'm fidgety anyway, and now my chair moves, so I just...
Yeah. That's what we're doing in here.
Yeah. What?
Oh, wait.
I'm like, no, that means sex.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
No, it's it's a scratch DJ.
Like a bed.
I was like,
oh, I was thinking of a squeaky bed.
Someone's a kinker. It was not me. I was not being gross.
I'm gross.
You're gross.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to treat me to a story.
You are?
I would like story time.
You would like story time.
I would.
Well, I tripped and fell into this one. I usually do. Because I kind of just root around in the true crime realm quite often.
Yeah, I'm glad you do because it's literally what we
do. But yeah.
I'm glad you root around in what we do.
Riddle me this. I was rooting around. Okay. Have you ever heard of the murder of Marlene Warren?
No.
See,
at this point, I don't fucking know shit.
I'm soaking up this survivor brain injury because...
the name sounds familiar, but I bet it's from like some book I read about witches because that sounds 100% like a witchy name in 1860.
Yeah, well, it's not a witch.
Okay, well,
but
give it to me.
Here we do go. So my sources, Snapped episode... I didn't write the episode. There it is. Episode 19. I was like, it just says episode season 33. And I was like, that's cute. Oh. Episode 19 of season 33, which can you believe they have 33 seasons of that?
Yes, because everyone is crazy and people are snapping all the time.
People keep snapping.
I ain't surprised.
Snapping. I'm not either, to be honest with you.
No.
CBS News, an episode of Unmasked that I watched one night, like without my notes. And then again, I went back to watch it. And then they were like, you have to pay for it. And I'm like, fuck.
Motherfuckers.
I watched it to make sure I'd like the story. And then I was like, this is great. I'll take notes tomorrow. And then they were like, we would like $2.99.
Those little fuckers.
I'm bait and switch.
Always trying to get my dollars. Fucking government.
What? It's like every old white man on Facebook right now.
Dude, you are not wrong.
Right. Oxygen.com and AP News. And then I listened this morning to an episode of Morbid, the podcast. But so if I might sprinkle some of that in there too, just in case from memory.
Do it.
You know what? I might.
Please.
And I shall. Marlene Mae McKinnon was born in 1950 right outside of Detroit to a middle-class family. And they lived on her grandpa's farm, which every time I hear the word grandpa's farm, what does that make you think of? The song. Strawberry Wine.
Oh.
No? Nothing? You just looked at me like I gave you a pop quiz.
Like, dude, I wasn't ready.
Put me on the spot. I wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. Okay. Well, she lived on her grandpa's farm. And everybody can sing Strawberry Wine to themselves with her parents and her two sisters. And they had like a really simple life. Like it was kind of the vibe that you would love.
Yeah. I was like, well, farm life tends to be pretty simple.
Yeah. Well,
that's the whole purpose.
Yeah. And I didn't find a ton on her background. But by the time she was 18, she was married with 2 young sons.
Oh, shit.
So
1950s goals, man.
There wasn't a lot to do on the farm.
Life hack. Get pregnant, have 2 kids before you're 18.
That's right.
Golly.
And one was an infant and the other one was around 2 by the time she was 18.
Shit.
So young mama. Her husband and baby daddy, John Aarons, they met when she was 14. So traveled fast. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a fucking nightmare.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I'm over here uncomfortable.
Right after the baby was born, John was drafted to Vietnam, and he was over there for about 2 years. And then when he came home, he was like a different person. He was sadly an alcoholic, and he wasn't exactly a family man anymore. And so she ended up taking the kids and leaving them because, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I know. And then less than a year later, she met 18-year-old Michael Warren. So she was 20 and Michael Warren was 18.
Okay.
2 years later, married. Michael.
I've never focused so hard in my entire life.
You really are looking at me like you're trying to read my mind and I'm trying to tell you something telepathically.
Like, okay, she was 20, he was 18. This guy's name, kids. Okay.
Yes.
I got
We're gonna make it. We're
gonna do it, guys.
I'm halfway through page 1. We're gonna make it. So they were married, and Michael actually became the father figure in the boy's life, and they had a pretty good life. Like they really liked him. They decided they needed a change, so they moved to Florida, and Michael actually opened up a car lot called Bargain Motors, and then he made a lot of money really quick.
Oh,
yeah.
Bargain Motors in Florida. That feels like a good steal.
I mean, it's a bargain.
And there's motors.
I'll see myself out. They were hustlers for sure, and being so young, like, you know, good for. I guess they really didn't have a choice. They had a young family, so they had to. They started buying rental properties as well as investments, and then Marlene did that part, and Michael ran the car lot. And they did so well financially this quick that they built a literal mansion in an exclusive, like, Richie Rich brand new neighborhood called the Aero Club in Wellington, Florida.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. The American dream.
Yeah. When I say Richie Rich, it was like they had fucking hangars and private planes and landing strip in their neighborhood.
Oh.
So just landing their planes and driving them through the neighborhood to their house. Rich.
And I'm over here just like, and this is why global warming.
And I'm like, I got a 12-foot skeleton, but I don't.
Dude, you can't hide money.
I can't.
Heather's over here. She can't hide money. She's like, you know what? I'm going to show people my money by putting a 12-foot fucking skeleton outside my house.
I can't wait. Coming soon to a post near you, Skelly Clarkson, Halloween.
Love
2024. Anyway.
It's going to be great.
Yes. And so they built the nicest house in that neighborhood at the time, and they had a private 2-seater plane and all that stuff, and life was pretty sweet for sure for them until 1988. Her oldest son, John, went to a car auction to pick up a vehicle, and there was like a missing stop sign that he didn't know about, and so he ran through.
Okay, so
1988.
1988. She was born 1950. Mm-hmm. 60, 70. Okay, so he was like 18.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He was around that age, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know. I didn't write down how old it is.
I know. So I was like, I need to see. Because for all I know, they'd be like, he was 12 and he was driving a car because that's how it used to be.
Because all 12-year-olds go to car auctions to buy.
They do girl.
You're right.
I am not wrong.
You're right. But okay. So there was a stop sign missing and John didn't know to stop. Aww. And he drove through and he was hit and killed.
Aww.
And Marlene was like devastated. And she was trying to be strong for her surviving son, obviously. Mike, on the other hand, became very distant and unsupportive and was like, well, this sucks. I'm going to work all the time. So he wasn't there for his wife at all.
Interesting coping mechanisms.
Yeah. 2 years went by like this. And then their lives changed again on May 26th of 1990. So Marlene, she's 40 now, the mom. And then the surviving son, Joe, was 21. And he had a friend who stayed over that night. And they were hanging around the next morning. They just had breakfast. It was like 8 or 9. Joe had a broken leg and he was on crutches. And Michael was on his way to like a horse track or a car track or something, but he was gone with 2 friends. Okay. Of course, never home. A white Chrysler LeBaron pulled around their roundabout driveway. The doorbell rang and her son was on crutches, so Marlene went and answered the door. And she opens the door and she sees a clown standing there.
Stop it. A fucking
if
clown?
I stop, this story's going to suck. Yeah. A clown.
Fucking clown.
Full clown makeup, orange curly wig, red clown nose, full clown costume, combat boots, and holding a basket of red and white carnations with 2 balloons.
I'm getting some Ronald McDonald vibes. And then also I'm just terrified.
Yeah. One balloon said, "You're the greatest." So my guess is the mom, because she's so nice, she's probably like, "Oh, someone sent this over for my son. He got hurt."
Oh.
Yeah, so she opened, because I'm not going to fucking open the door even if it's the UPS guy, let alone a clown.
I'm not opening the door for shit. And
No.
it's 2024.
Yeah.
My Ring doorbell, it's fine.
Thank you.
I do not need to hear
This was 90, so.
anything you're telling me.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it was you, I'd be like, what are you doing?
I don't know. When
No,
we were
kidding.
youthful, we always answered the door.
Oh, I did too, for sure.
Oh.
Okay, so Joe heard his mom say, "Oh, how pretty, how nice," and then a gunshot.
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The clown shot Marlene in the mouth.
Right in the mouth.
Right in the mouth. And then Jun? Who's Jun?
I don't know.
Joe.
Oh.
Yeah, Joe ran over there. He didn't register what happened because he's like, he just heard a loud noise. And then
Joe's the friend.
The son.
Oh, so he wobbled over there.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
Wait, you can't say he has a broken leg and then be like, he sprinted 18 yards. I got confused. There was a friend. I'm confused.
Yes.
Okay.
Joe ran over there, and then he's like, fuck, because he sees, she can't breathe, and she's bleeding everywhere and stuff.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he looks out the front door, and he sees like a 5'9" man in a clown suit walking calmly back to the white car. So the clown turns around and looks at him, just walking, like shoots
You
his
are
mom,
fucking with me.
shoots his mom, and just turns around and walks real slow, and then makes sure to turn back around and make eye contact with her son.
I feel like I am hallucinating.
Well,
Are my
probably.
eyes open? Are my pupils dilated? Because this is some shit.
Yeah, and he said the only thing he remembers was the deep brown eyes, like looking at him, like just a cold stare at the sun. So Joe, like I said, has a broken leg, so he calls 911 and he's like, "Oh my God, my mom has been shot." And then they're like, "Stay calm," and he's like, "No." He drops the phone.
I love how they say stay calm. No one's staying calm.
Yeah.
Like, don't be giving me
Be
false
like, "Good,
stupid
you know
shit.
that's a good idea. Maybe I should start there."
It's like
I was
somebody
gonna
dying
panic.
and be like, don't be sad. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jonathan.
I mean,
I will be sad. And I will not be calm.
I hate when people tell you to calm down. It never works.
It never does.
No, it's easier.
It elevates.
It's easier to baptize a cat than tell me to calm down. I will say that right now.
I got my goose.
Did it? Okay, cool.
I literally thought about a cat just saying hello to Jesus.
Oh my God. Okay, listen.
I'm listening.
Tune back in. Come back to me. Okay.
I am.
So he grabs the keys, grabs his crutches, and he runs out there and gets in the car, him and his friend, and they try to chase this fucking clown.
That's what I'm talking about.
But he can't. He loses the clown in traffic, and then he's like, fuck it. He goes back to the house. The paramedics are already there, and they rush her to the hospital, and she was barely alive. The cops tore through the house.
I don't know. Real quick. I'm just like,
Yes.
no. I don't know. You're just leaving your mom who's been shot in the face.
He knew that the cops.
I know, but
way.
I know. Dude,
I don't know.
Your friend.
Yeah.
If some crazy shit happened to your dad, I'd be like, you take your father. I will go avenge him.
What?
And I would get in the car.
Why are you?
I don't know.
Why are
I'm
you
always
on-
trying. I want to avenge
Sound
somebody.
like you're on Lord of the Rings.
Good. Ain't nobody avenging nobody in Lord of the Rings.
I didn't read that
I know,
movie,
and that's
so.
oh my dear baby. Jesus.
Okay, so the cops were tearing his house apart looking for clues, and obviously they took the son in for questioning. And the detectives didn't find much besides they found the basket of flowers, the balloons, but that's about it. Like nothing was stolen. The clown didn't even come in the house. It was just like boom and left.
So the clown left the balloons.
Yeah, one of the balloons was still there. I don't know if it popped, got
So
shot.
bizarre.
I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna keep going.
Are we in a hurry?
No.
You're sprinting. You're sprinting.
Well, I can slow
wanna
down.
Yeah, let's slow down.
Okay.
We're here. We're here for a while. We're good.
Okay. But nothing was stolen. The clown didn't even go inside. Now, obviously, it was a personal vendetta because where the neighborhood was, like, you had to know where you were going and why. Like, it's just kind of like where you live. Like, you're not just going to casually randomly end up at a house because it's like deep and there's a lot of different, like, especially where their house was. I saw a map of it.
I also just wouldn't expect a clown to be decorated and ready to go and just pick a random person's house and be like, I'm going to shoot that person.
Right?
No part of this feels like it wasn't personal.
100%.
I might not be a private investigator
anymore.
Right. But I don't feel like that's a random situation.
Yeah. And everyone loved Marlene. Even her tenant said that she was kind and lenient with them. So, like, if they're like, hey, I'm going to be short $100 on rent, she'd be like, okay, just get it to me when you can. She's very nice. And the bullet that hit Marlene had gone through her mouth and was stuck in the back of her vertebrae. So she was rushed into surgery and then got put on life support when she got out. Joe called his stepdad, Michael, and he rushed to the hospital. And sadly, Marlene couldn't breathe on her own. She was in a coma, and Marlene's mom had to take her off life support, and she passed.
Aww.
Joe and then his friend that was there that day, they gave statements to the police, and they gave as many details as they could remember. They brought in Michael, her husband, because but his alibi checked out, and he was with his friends going to the horse track, so he wasn't even close. There's no way.
So weird.
Yeah. Michael was like, I don't know, like, she evicts people, so maybe one of her tenants got mad. They were like, who do you think did this? Because it's not a chance.
Oh, and be like, oh, well, this one angry fucking clown she pissed off one time at the grocery store. What the fuck?
She really made Bubbles mad.
My God, Bubbles was just fucking bubbling.
Bubbles was heated.
Fuck.
And however, her son Joe was like, she wasn't rude at all, and they all loved her. So there's no way that's even true. And they started diving into Michael Warren. And
dive in, man.
They did.
Go after him.
He was shady, doing some shady shit.
Was he?
Slimy car guy.
Of course, he would know a clown for all those clowns that are hanging out.
All your car needs.
Put them on the corner.
All those Labor Day sales. Sunday. And he was rolling back the odometers in the cars and shit like that.
Oh my God, he's like the dude from Matilda.
I knew you were going to say that. I didn't write it. I didn't even write it. I was like, she'll say it.
I will.
She'll say it, and you said it.
Fucking,
see, you're still firing on a couple cylinders.
Two. I got two.
And he had started a side hustle repoing cars, so he was gone all hours of the night saying he was repoing.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. But is repoing fucking other women?
He's repoing that pussy. I felt dirty saying that.
Crazy girl.
So crazy. Okay, and Marlene had told others that she thought he was having an affair, and after she passed, after the passing of her oldest son John, Michael began basically living two separate lives, like I said. So her son Joe said that 2 weeks before she was shot, his mom said that, Michael doesn't love me anymore, and if anything ever happens to her, he had something to do with it, and she was so physically bothered by it that it freaked her son out.
So that's intriguing.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't. I mean, I don't know what he would have done.
Why she said it though. Like if it wasn't a violent relationship, like if I felt like Travis was falling out of love with me, number one, I'd hold him down and I'd make him not. But
I got a clown suit.
Right? I don't know. Like I just feel like that's just so spicy. Like relationships end without it being like, if something happens to me, it was this person.
Yeah,
there must have been some weird vibes going on up in there.
Yeah,
enough to have a psychotic clown involved.
Right. The cops were like, yeah, let's go back down to Bargain Motors. And they're like, and people, of course, his employees were talking to him. They're like, yeah, he was having an affair and didn't care who saw. Like every person they talked to, even on the show, they were all like, yeah, we all know. Yes.
Why am I so angry?
Sheila Keen.
Oh, she sounds like a slut. I'm slut shaming. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you can in this case because she knew. She just didn't.
Sheila.
You
know that if you named your daughter Sheila, she'd be skanky.
For all the Sheilas, email Brooklyn at.
Sorry. Not sorry.
And she was described as a pretty 26-year-old tomboy who not many people liked. They called her rambunctious and fearless.
Oh.
Yes. It's the name of Taylor Swift's next album. She was from a small town in southern Florida near the Everglades, and she ended up marrying this man named Richard Spud Keen, which I love that nickname. Like, how do you even get that? Either he looks like a potato or he eats them all the time.
Uh-huh.
I mean, how else?
I don't know. You're from Idaho?
Oh. I don't know.
Isn't that where the potatoes are from? I don't.
Yeah.
Idaho potatoes, yeah. Man, those two cylinders.
And they're firing, though. She married him in the 80s, and he was a shady dude, and he had, like, drug ties and ties to the KKK, and so, really stand-up man.
Wow.
Yes.
Sound like great people.
Sucked. Yes. He was a repo man, and Sheila was like, yeah, let me get in on that. So she just was like, I want to do that.
She's
that
a tomboy who repos vehicles
Yes.
and had an affair with a shitty car dealer.
Yes.
Is this real?
This is real.
I feel like you made this
At
up.
the end, I'm
this is
like-
like a vivid hallucination dream that you had.
This is a fever dream.
Yeah. That's kind of what it feels like.
Yes. So listen to this. So she even faked like she was going to fuck. She went to repo a car, but this is what she did. So she wanted this guy's car. She would fake like she was going to fuck him.
Shut the fuck
I swear.
up.
Waits till he gets naked and then it's like, boop, takes his keys and runs out and leaves and repos his car that way.
I just don't feel like that's necessary.
She liked that. She's rambunctious, I told you, and fearless. You do shit like that when you're rambunctious and fearless.
Apparently.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What the?
Could you imagine? He's like, yeah, I'm going to get some ass. And then she's like, just kidding.
What
give
if
me
you
that.
just knock on his door and be like, hey, James?
I mean, I didn't dive into it, but
I know, I'm just
in my
like-
head, it played out like she met him at a bar and pretended. Walked over there in her
So
overalls, wherever the fuck she wore.
Her Daisy Dukes and her flannels. I don't know. I feel like that's what you would wear if you were. Did you just look at my outfit?
No.
You did. You've seen me all day, and right now you look at my outfit. For everyone, I'm not wearing Daisy Dukes or flannel, though that is 100% in a repertoire of outfits I would totally fucking wear. Motherfucker.
Yeah, I got caught.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic employing your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
Where we are right now.
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
So Spud worked for Michael, and that's how the two met. Now, he eventually stopped working for Michael, but Sheila got hired to stay on at Bargain Motors.
Intriguing.
So they started fucking. Everybody saw.
By stay on, you meant that dick.
Oh,
Hey.
there she goes. She's back.
someone's
I think
here.
you're at 2.5 now.
Uh-huh.
Like PDA and all that. Like they didn't try to hide it. And his coworker said that Michael was just like, yeah, we're banging it out, whatever. And then Sheila like fell for him.
Oh.
She became very possessive, even though he
Possessive.
was possessive. I did say that. I just wanted to jazz it up.
I like that word
you
better.
know?
Super possessive.
Sorry that you say it boring.
No, you're right.
And Sheila divorced Spud, and then she set her eyes on Michael.
Who she was already fucking.
Yes. She's officially honed in.
Okay.
Yes. And the cops are like, Michael, you were banging Sheila. And he's like, no. That's just a rumor. I wasn't doing that. And he said, I've been married for 20 years and we didn't have any problems. And everyone's like, yes, they did. Yeah.
Why do people do shit publicly and act like no one's gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're like, I'm gonna get someone to murder someone, and then just everything I was doing before, even though I'm the number one suspect automatically because I'm the spouse, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Stupid fuckers, man.
I know. And then they brought Sheila in and she stayed voluntarily that she's like, am I under arrest? They're like, no. And she's like, well, I'll talk to you. And she's like,
fearless.
she's rambunctious.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, well, he's a player. Michael's he's a womanizer, but we didn't have sex. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, okay. So where were you on that day? And she's like, oh, I was repoing cars. And they're like, cool. What kind were you looking for? And she's like, oh, I don't remember.
That white car.
That one. The one with the wheels. And then they're like, do you have a clown suit? And she's like, no.
Heather's like, I do.
I do.
I know.
And she even gave him a hair sample. Like I watched the interview with her and she was like, yeah, sure.
Okay, quick question. Was she pretty?
You can look her up.
They said she was pretty.
And rambunctious.
Sheila what? Spud?
Well,
Nugget?
here, I'll show you a photo. How about that?
How about that?
Okay.
Let's
just
do it.
don't read, just look. How about that?
I'm not. Oh, wait. Okay. What's her last name?
Sheila Keen Warren.
Keen. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
No.
Okay.
I vote no.
Okay. And so she gave him a hair sample. And then when she hands it over, she's like, wait, am I a suspect? And then they were like, she said, no, we're looking at everyone. And she's like, okay, well, I need to go get an attorney. So I'm going to go. And she just quit talking. They didn't have enough to arrest her, and they had to let her go. And Joe said that a man came, so they had to piece it together. Like, they were like, Joe was saying that a dude did it. So they were like, well, shit.
How do you know it was a dude?
I mean,
if they have all that great makeup on.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but usually clown outfits are not showing off the curves.
Yeah, they're not very flattering.
So you could have some titties, and they might not be able to see. Some titties. I don't know.
They figured out that a Publix near them sold the same basket with the flowers and the balloon. And then 2 employees there remember a woman coming in to buy those. So it was 1990, no cameras, she paid cash. Yeah. And then they went to all the costume stores. They were pretty good. This is one where I'm not going to say the cops suck because they did a pretty good job.
Good.
Yeah. And they went to the costume stores and they found one in West Palm Beach. And the owner was like, yeah, on May 24th, 2 days before Marlene was shot, a chick called and she was like, hey, do you have clown suits? It was like right before they closed. She said, yes. She's like, okay, I'm coming in. Like, all panicked about it. When she came in, the owner was like, wait, do you have everything but the shoes? You don't want the shoes? And she's like, no. Because remember, combat boots.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
The woman had long, dark hair and dark brown eyes and manly features.
Oh, oh my God, I'd be so annoyed.
I know, because I would
She
want
has
people to
manly
describe
features,
me. Like,
I don't want anyone to
No.
describe me. I don't need any of that. I don't.
No.
What you think of me is none of my business, and that is what my Instagram feed tells me every day. And none of my business. Reese Witherspoon just recently said that too.
I can't be concerned.
I can be concerned, and that's why I don't want to know. Please and thank you.
They showed the employees like a photo lineup, and 2 of them picked out Sheila's photo. On May 30th, 4 days after she was shot, they found the white Chrysler LeBaron in the grocery store parking lot.
Ooh.
They found the car. It had been reported stolen by Payless Car Rental. Now, a husband and wife from out of town had rented the car, and the wife looked in the yellow pages, and she thought she had called Payless to be like, hey, where do I take this fucking car? And she had actually called Bargain Motors because Michael had placed shady ads that looked like it said pay less, but it said pay less, and the space was really tiny in the ad. So people called him all the time, and he got their business. They actually ended up suing him for it.
A sneaky Pete.
Yes,
It's like people who
sneaky Pete.
It's like people who do Google and they just take the E off and their website and they get paid for clicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't tell people how to cheat, how to be Pete's.
Sneaky fucking Pete's. Man.
And Michael was telling people to return the Payless cars to his place, and then he would keep them.
Shut the front door.
So they didn't like each other, obviously. He's
Oh, why
stealing
not?
his fucking car. I know, it's
Fucking
weird.
cunt. So, talk about somebody who should have dressed up like a clown and shot somebody. Should have been the owners of Payless.
And when that lady called, they were like, yeah, just leave it outside on the lot with the keys in there and we'll take care of it. So they dropped the car. And in the car, they found the orange wig hair fibers, brown hair, and again, 1990. So 4 months after Marlene died, they raided the car lot and went through everything and built a fraud case against Michael.
Ooh.
Because they were like, well, we can at least do this.
Yeah.
Because he's slimy.
He is a sneaky Pete.
She likes that one.
I do.
I do too. I think it's good. In 1994, Michael was sentenced to 8 years in prison for the odometer fraud and racketeering, which I don't even know what that means, I don't think. Racketeering. What is that?
My brain isn't. Do you want me to Google?
No,
Let me
I-
Google.
oh, sorry.
I might be
Okay.
able to spell it.
Well, he spent...
Racketeering. I'm just kidding. No, now I have to know because I looked it up before on another episode.
I don't remember.
Drew's just listening and he's just screaming what racketeering means.
It's fine. I'm sure everyone is screaming all of that always.
all of them. Everyone in the whole world knows what racketeering is.
For a split second, I
except for us.
forgot that we had someone listening like live because this is so new.
I know it is right.
You do that.
Nope.
And I'm gonna take
I don't know.
You don't know.
No,
I thought, does Google broken?
I hit the wrong.
They're
things.
closed?
Well, you just.
They're on their lunch break.
I am about to. Racketeering is a type of organized crime in which the perpetrators set up a coercive, fraudulent, extortionary, or otherwise illegal coordinated scheme or operation. A racket
They cause a racket.
to
Got it.
repeatedly or consistently collect a profit.
Well, he was causing a racket. So there's
He
that.
was. Fucker.
Big old racket. Michael spent 3 years in prison, but the story, eventually faded out of the media and the case went cold.
How did how did it go cold? It is literally in a fucking pot.
Here she goes.
Simmering with a bouillon cube in it. It is a fucking chicken broth. How is it? They already know. They already know. Fuckers, man. Stupid motherfuckers. I'm annoyed.
So I don't know.
I'm annoyed. It is not cold. It is very, very warm.
Well, it's about to heat back up.
Well, good.
Yes.
Turn that fucking thing on high.
Okay.
Please.
Michael moved to Virginia after he was released, and since he was never formally charged with anything associated to Marlene's murder, he collected the $53,000 life insurance policy.
I am going to beat a fucking...
This is what we call flip that desk hour with Brooklyn Johnson.
Yes. I want to flip 3 desks, preferably not heavy ones.
Hopefully not in the
I'm
head.
feeling a little weak.
Yeah.
But fuckers.
Yes. He had a new wife named Debbie.
Oh, of course he did.
And he had cut off all contact with Marlene's son, which was sad. He ended up getting like addicted to drugs and like trying to
Joe.
because he lost his mom. That was his dad, and now his dad's not speaking to him. He called him. He said he called him one time.
Poor guy.
And then he was like, "Do I get the house?" And his dad's like, "No." And then basically, see ya.
And didn't give him any of the money from. Nope. I am a frustrated lady.
I know, but he's a sweet little guy. He was on, he's older now, but he was on the documentary.
Does he look like he was rode hard and put up with it?
He's cute, older guy. He's cute.
But does he look like he was like...
No, he doesn't look like...
That's what I was hoping. I hope you were going to say he did not look like...
No.
Drug addiction.
He's not going to do my taxes, but he's not going to steal the hubcaps off my car.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
It sure does.
Okay, cool. So... Like I said, he called him once and that's it. And then Joe never stopped calling the detectives back in Florida. Like he'd call them once a week to be like, "Did you find anything? Did you find anything?" Now cut to 2014.
What?
Yeah. 2014.
My
Palm Beach County got a cold case grant and started opening old cold cases. Cold cases. I got that one out. Professional.
Way to go.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Marlene's case made the cut, and they examined the evidence, which luckily they still
hair
had.
fibers.
Well, sometimes they don't have them, but luckily they still did.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
No,
Yes. Precisely. And there was a long brown hair on one of the balloons that somehow had been missed the first time when they were inspecting the. I don't know. I don't know how.
12 questions. I don't. Okay. If you're telling me there's a balloon and it deflated and there's a fucking hair on it, I'm not going to not see the fucking hair.
I mean,
I have eyeballs.
Yes, you do.
And they see hairs
they do.
on balloons. I just think that's stupid. And I'm tired of stupid.
I mean,
I'm exhausted from stupid.
Yes. Your eyeballs do see hairs on balloons. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud. It's one of the reasons why we're friends. So every time I see a hairy balloon, I'm like, "Brooklyn." She's like, "I already saw." And I'm like, "You just get me."
There's a hair on that balloon.
There's a hair on that balloon. I'm like,
and it's in a fucking Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Which is a hair. It's literally, if someone was like, "What's in this bag?" I'd be like, "A balloon and a hair." No. Like when they wrote it down, balloon with hair. Dude, I don't get it.
The facts that we're gripping on today, what we're grabbing onto today is like the most.
I'm just. I have feelings.
Do you?
I do.
Well, you've come to the right place to express them. Now, they sent all this shit out back to the FBI. And remember, Sheila was like, "Hey, here's my hair," back in 1990. The DNA match came back to Sheila Keen, and they finally have the evidence to arrest her 27 years later.
See, and she had all those 27 Christmases and all that joy she was able to experience without
fucked up.
Fucking.
She probably went through at least 20 pair of combat boots.
Man,
in that time.
She could have been married in jail already because we both know let's be honest.
She wouldn't be holding that pocket. No. She'd be telling them to do it.
Yeah.
To probably a girl named Spud.
That was probably her nickname in prison. Sheila Spud.
Okay, they tracked Sheila. Guess what? She was married to Michael and living in Tennessee. His blonde wife, Debbie, was fucking Sheila. Not fucking her. Same person. Debbie S. Sheila. Debbie is Sheila. Same person.
Well,
but the way I worded it threw you for a loop.
It sure did. I went through the loop, came back out. Okay.
You did because you...
Wow.
I saw the lights go on and off.
Yeah, you definitely told the classroom to quiet down.
So his blonde wife, Debbie, is Sheila.
Got it. This
when
is some
Michael
shit.
got out of prison in 2002, he immediately reunited with Sheila,
True
the
love.
person he was just sleeping with or not sleeping with, and didn't have anything to do with her. He immediately reunited with her, and she waited for him, and they got married in Vegas. They were living a normal life on her life insurance, on his dead wife's life insurance policy.
that they murdered.
They even owned a restaurant called the Purple Cow. Get this shit. So everybody there said they were kind of like assholes to work for.
What?
I know.
Well, they
And
sound like stand-up people.
this is really going to piss
Just
you
the
off.
nicest couple.
This is going to piss you off.
I'm gonna
They
get
had-
mad.
On Halloween, their employees dressed up.
No.
Guess what?
No.
Fucking Debbie Sheila
No.
dressed up.
If
like?
you tell me that she's a clown,
She did.
I'm gonna burn down
I
the
swear to
building.
God, she did. Swear. Please don't
the
burn
same
it down. We just
costume?
got this cool studio.
I know.
I don't think Drew would appreciate.
I would
that if
never
you-
do that, and I hope nothing ever burns down because I just said that.
I
Every
know.
time I say that shit, I'm always like,
She's not into arson.
I'm not. That's not what I'm into.
PSA.
I am into getting hit in the head with boards.
Yes. Yeah. So she did that. Fuck her.
Was it the same one? Like, do we know if it was the same one, or does she just have an affinity for clown costumes? Because you don't know what kind of kink they have.
Becky, I don't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I heard
didn't know
it.
they
I read
said
it in
Snapped.
passing. No, I didn't. I heard this on
I
the
was like,
podcast.
she dusted it off of the. She got it out from the back of the
on
closet
one
and
of
dusted it off.
On one of the things I read, they said that one of the employees was claiming that Michael had asked him to get rid of it. But I don't know if that's just hearsay.
Ah.
So I didn't include it, but now I'll just sprinkle it in there for you guys to be the judge.
Okay.
Yes.
Weird.
September 27th, 2017.
Oh my geez, Louise.
Yes, they tracked this bitch down and arrested her, and she didn't even ask why. They were like, "You're under arrest," and she just put her hands on her back.
Oh.
Michael wasn't taken in because there was no hard evidence connecting him, and it took detectives a few more years after this to build out the case. So 2020 is when it went to trial. But you remember what happened in 2020? COVID.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
So-
what happened?
Right. I read somewhere that there was like a pandemic or something.
Oh.
Yeah. It took an additional 3 fucking years for it to make it back to the docket.
So like yesterday.
2023.
I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
But she was in prison that whole time. The whole 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. In 2023, prosecutors wanted to make sure she went to prison and stayed there, so they offered her a plea deal, which kind of pissed everybody off a little bit.
Well, how old is she now? Like, she was probably, what, 55?
Something like that. But still, throw her ass away. She got to live out all those years.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. She'll
At
die
this
in
point,
jail
they were
anyway.
probably like, look, it's been dragged on for this long after we even got to arrest her. So they were probably like, just fucking.
What was the plea deal? Tell me everything.
You know what? I think I will.
Please.
They said you have to admit that you did this and we'll sentence you to 12 years. That's what I meant. 12 years.
Go line up them desks. I'm about to flip them all over.
I know. That neither the prosecution or the defense were happy about this deal. Her lawyer said they did it just because, quote, no one would turn down this sweetheart of a deal.
Yeah,
Her
because-
attorney was like, well, she just accepted it because there was a chance she would get more. And the prosecutors
Oh,
were like,
shut up.
yeah.
Man.
The prosecutor was actually on Snapped, and he said he was so frustrated because the crime was so heinous and she will be able to live free again after being free already for 27 years.
Unbelievable.
And they were like, it was kind of like a this is better than nothing kind of thing.
And people with circumstantial evidence get fucking life.
Yeah. Or innocent people.
That's what I meant, kind of.
Yeah. You know,
Like, her hair was literally like, motherfucker. I don't care for this. I don't care for this at all. And they also just fucking suck.
Yeah.
Because then they also ran off, boot scooted.
yeah.
And
Bought
then-
the Purple Cow, which apparently they sold and is still open.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonder what kind of food they sell there. Hateful food.
Hateful food. Hate burgers.
Hate burgers and fucking shitty sin fries.
Yes.
Fuckers, man. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
And Sheila Keen Warren is serving her sentence and is scheduled to be released
No.
from Gadsden Correctional Facility in Florida at age 61 of May
Literally
of next
young.
year.
May of next. How? That's 12. That's not 12 years. That's
Well,
2 years.
Yeah, she's scheduled that. Yeah.
How?
Yeah,
She
I
got 12 years and
Yes.
she is going to do 1 year?
Yes. Well, it's like time served and all that other shit.
Yeah, but she wasn't arrested
Good
till
behavior,
2017,
all that stuff.
2017.
Yeah.
That is not. My math ain't math.
Well, the math ain't mathing either, but yeah, it's like because good behavior, time served, all that shit.
you don't get
factored
good
into it.
behavior when you're a murderer.
I mean, I don't know. Listen, I didn't write the warden a letter.
I know.
And
but
say,
I'm not
listen,
okay.
I think I would like her to work at the Purple Cow again. Please let her out.
I understand you weren't a character witness, but I'm very frustrated.
I mean, me too. Yeah. Me too.
We will picket this. What state?
We will pick it.
Is it a good state? What state?
Florida.
I live there long enough. I don't care for that.
Michael was never charged with anything.
Yeah, because she probably didn't say anything.
And he was with Sheila when she was arrested, obviously. Michael only called Marlene's son, like I said, one time after his release from prison and then never spoke to him again.
Poor Joe.
And that is the sad story of the murder of Marlene Warren, by his husband's girlfriend, not girlfriend, Sheila Keen, the killer clown.
That is some shit.
It is some shit.
I didn't care for that.
I didn't either.
I'm kind of angry.
Yeah.
Things suck. Mm-hmm. But I really do like whenever the judicial system actually pans out the appropriate level of shit.
At least they rushed back around. I hate that she didn't get a longer sentence, though. And he didn't get anything.
Who knows if he had anything to do with it?
I mean,
we still don't know.
Here's my theory.
I mean,
on
obviously,
this.
we
Okay,
know.
so I want to backtrack because I didn't put this in here. I want to save it. So, whenever he came to the hospital, her mom was basically like, when she was on life support, her mom's like, "Get the fuck out of here. You fucking leave."
Ooh.
Because he had basically said that, or she had told her a couple of weeks before that, the same thing she told her son. Like, anything ever happens to me, he had something to do with it. I want to leave him, but our stuff is tied together. Because think about it, they're business partners too. So he would lose a lot of money and stuff if they got divorced.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what's the point? Just split it down the middle.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
wealthy is wealthy. Well, she obviously didn't either because she could have divorced his ass.
Yeah.
If
Well, I
she
think
was-
she was toying with the idea too, though.
No, we don't know that.
We don't know.
We don't
Some people
know.
said, some things I heard and read said that she was. Some people said she wasn't. I don't know. I mean, if she wasn't happy, it was bound to eventually get there, I would say.
I mean, I don't get it. Like it's half the shit you did. Like your fuck. What's that word?
Livelihood.
There we go. Thank you. It's half of your livelihood too. It's not like it was his money and she was gonna lose it all because it was his in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
split that shit down the middle, get over it,
And there was
let him
some-
start banging that fucking butch looking bitch over there.
She probably.
I just,
The first time I saw their photos, I was like, oh, she pegs him. There's 100% chance.
oh, she definitely put something in his
Yeah,
butthole.
like over a used Buick, out on the lot at Bargain
That is so
Motors.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't care for that story whatsoever.
I don't care for any of that either.
Listen how cute this is though. So Joe, her son, the surviving son, he used to go with her whenever the contractors would come repair things at the lot, and she would have him watch them. And he ended up being in the construction business when he grew up and got clean, because he would learn from all the people that would come build and fix stuff. He said that he thanked his mom for that afterwards.
Aw.
Yeah,
She was pretty too.
she was.
He definitely was slumming. I don't know what he looks like, so I can't really say anything, but she was pretty. Well, he's shit, so
He ain't nothing to look at.
I believe it. And I don't even care to look him up.
He was like an older, and think about, he was way older than her too. So,
Oh, he was?
like than Sheila.
I don't think I put any. Oh, yeah, because she was 26 and he was probably 40, right?
Yeah, he was 38. She was 26. Run around in her overalls, and they said like 9 times on there. They're like, she always wore combat boots, and I'm like, if I tell her that in the first 5 seconds, she'll realize that I'm talking about Sheila.
I already knew it was
I
Sheila.
figured you pieced it together.
I did.
Yeah,
That I did.
you're quick.
Sometimes.
You're a quick one.
It's also all the fucked up books I read where I'm like, oh, I'm already making an assumption that John was having an affair with Joe.
with Joe.
And hey, every time I read a book about a business partner leaving his wife or his other business partner that's a male, I'm like, Travis, how do you feel about this guy? Do you think he's cute?
Do you think he's cute?
Just gotta keep your fingers on the pulse. You never know. People be flip-flopping on sexuality all the time. They really don't, but in books they kind of do.
I mean, yeah.
Crazy stories. And that's why I thought Sheila was fucking...
Yeah, I did word. That was my choice
did.
on the wording, and I didn't even type fucking.
I was
in there.
like,
I just was
you
getting,
said the whole time that she was like butch.
I know. I did tee
fearless
that up
and all this stuff, and I was like, she's a lesbian.
I did tee that
Now
up.
they're doing
for that.
weird fucking threesomes. I don't know.
Yeah.
How are they gonna know? No one's gonna know.
Yeah. Well, I would have known, and that did not happen. I just teed that up in the wrong manner.
Yes. So that was a great shitty story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it with us. Other things that are coming up, we're going to do some crossover episodes with our favorite girls. Watch for Deer podcast.
Yes, we are.
And then we're also going to have a guest on.
Yes, we
Ration
are.
Around the corner.
We got some shit
Good
happening.
friend named Aaron Brosmer. Things are happening.
Things are happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
get ready for it. Hopefully I'll have all my cylinders firing and not just a handful. I don't know how many cylinders we're supposed to have, but I probably don't have enough
I know.
going on right now. Oh, yeah.
I love that you just held your hands up like you were holding things.
Cylinders. I'm holding my cylinders. All right. Well, we love you guys.
Yes, we love you.
And all those things.
All the things.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
No.
Oh, no. I forgot.
Always.
I
You
always
consistently forget.
I consistently
Don't get
forget.
mad, man.
Get sassy.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, a couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I bet that